there is no question that if you give 100% of your focus to one thing, it will be exceptionally better than you doing multiple things at once, right? But in my case, it's kind of, there's a synergy between the two, right? Like, I kind of did the hotels and private equity thing to go get that school of hard knocks lessons in private equity and then bring that back into the development world. So that was kind of the whole plan, right? My whole plan in doing the hotels is, number one, hotels were a no-brainer buying opportunity, but also I could open up that book of private equity, learn how to raise private capital, put syndications together, turn around big commercial assets. Getting that exposure was crucial to me in my journey, just like getting that exposure to real estate development and property management, which was kind of my phase one, was crucial, right? So I will say that definitely, I'm always going to come back to center and do one big thing. But it's also useful to go try different things, right? If you have one big thing that's stable, go try different things, because you might find an untapped passion or skill, or just go get exposure to something else. Like I always say, always be learning, right? If you take that student mentality and go chase experiences that are going to teach you things, as long as it doesn't take away too much from your mental bandwidth, like you mentioned, that's definitely can be an enriching experience and take you to the next level.
Yeah, I totally agree. I like calling it sampling the different methods of real estate. You're absolutely right. You gotta pick one and just get laser focused on it to be hugely successful. But sometimes you don't know exactly what's going to really trigger that passion and something that you really fall into. In the 4 or 5 years that I've been in real estate, we've done land flipping, wholesaling, fix and flip, and burn into short-term rentals. We've become limited partners on syndications, and frankly, what I found out is that I still love them all. I've got they've got the like the blindest guy with shiny object syndrome, and frankly, just gotta pick one, maybe two, and I think you could call it diversification, and true, there's a spectrum between that risk and reward, and diversification, and that single effort. And this is what the risk is, that you gotta mitigate that single point of failure. When it comes to diversification, you're mitigating the risk, but you're also mitigating your ability to be as successful, or at least you're slowing that progress down, because you're just splitting those single points of failure. Instead, what you're doing is just becoming an expert in at least a couple areas. They run in parallel. I think it's great. So what is the goal for you? What are you aiming towards?
Totally, Aaron. So, that's kind of like going back off of that last question about doing multiple things at once as well. So my no shit kind of someday goal is to build a high rise, right? A high rise mixed use building. And in order for me to do that, I have to go through a few chapters. I have to go through the real estate development chapter. I have to go through the private equity chapter, right? And then I have to go through the owner builder, building my own things for myself and investors, small things one by one, building that snowball eventually into a high rise. So that's kind of why I've taken this path of doing multiple things at once, because I know that I need the development piece. So that's definitely it. But I'm not going to be able to build a high rise with my own cash. So I need the private equity piece as well. So that's kind of why I took that chapter into private equity. So that's kind of, that's really the my personal goal would be to build a high rise mixed use building, but then kind of along the way, as well as, impact, man. I really want to help other people do it with me. I really want to be able to give people exposure to investments that they traditionally wouldn't be able to invest in.